Fellow Toastmasters, I want to take you along on a story. Like many people in the United States, I had a bicycle when I was a kid. I loved my bicycle. Rode it everywhere through the neighborhood. I wanted a dirt bike. So we put knobby tires on my bicycle. Once I got older, I was a teenager, I wanted a fast bicycle. My parents took me to a bike store where we picked out a Miata, a 12-speed bicycle with shifters. I would ride that bicycle everywhere. I lived in the Chicago area, out in the suburbs, and we had crushed limestone trails, packed hard, hundreds of miles of trails. I would ride all over. I had a route where I would ride out to the Fox River, down the river, back home, 30, 50, 70 miles. When I got my first job up in Schaumburg, Illinois, and I lived down here in Wheaton, I dreamed of riding my bicycle to work. I scanned all the different routes possible, drove along the roads. There was no safe route. I couldn't find a good way to go. I wasn't going to get run over by a car. Let's jump ahead. I moved to Colorado. Well, here I am. I've got my infant child, Rebecca. I'm the stay-at-home dad taking care of her. We watched a lot of shows. She's sitting on the couch with me, watched all of MacGyver. Eventually, it's time for her to go to daycare. I find a job down in the tech center. I live way up here in Thornton. Once I started working, I said, I got on Google, looked at Google Maps. Hey, bicycling directions. Let's see what I can find. Yeah, look at that. I can take the Platte River Trail, the Cherry Creek Trail, about 5 miles of surface streets, and in street view, I see bike lanes. So that's what I did. Started riding my bike to work. I didn't ride all the way. I was out of shape, remember, sitting at home with my daughter. My friend Walt saw me one day. He said, hey, Tom, saw you ride your bike into work today. I said, yeah, it's always been my dream, ride my bike to and from work. I said, well, there's a whole group of us that go out on lunchtime bike rides. We go about 20 miles, a lot of times up to Cherry Creek State Park. We do a loop through the park and come back. I said, boy, I'd like to join that too. The way it went with lunchtime group, person who invites you, they're your mentor. They're the one who has to guide you along, take you under their wing, teach you the ropes. I didn't know what I was getting into. Remember, I was out of shape. I go on the first ride with them. I'm nervous. These guys are like pros. They're riding right on each other's wheels. I'm keeping this big gap. They keep telling me, get closer, get closer. Oh, yeah, meanwhile, I'm huffing and puffing, trying to keep up. It's a 20-mile bike ride. 20 miles. I think I made it 5 miles before I'm like starting to gap off the group. By 7 miles, hey, Walt, I can't keep up anymore. Don't worry, Tom. We're going to keep going. You keep going. When you see us coming back, you turn around, ride real fast and catch back on. Yeah, sure. Catch back on. These guys were flying. They're going 22, 23 miles an hour. So I try my best. I catch back on for a little bit. Then they drop me. Sprint to the finish. Thankfully, they slow down and wait for everybody at the end of the park. And we all ride back together. Walt kept asking me about my interests. He said, yeah, I know you like commuting. Are you interested in anything else? I said, well, this is really fun, racing. He's like, well, this is kind of like racing, yeah. Are you interested in doing some? I said, well, I'm not going to do a crit or any group races. There's crashes in those. I don't need to crash, fall off my bike and get hurt. He said, well, there's time trials too, individual racing events. All right, let's try that. There's a Cherry Creek time trial, he told me, right in the park where we ride the exact loop that we do through Lollipop at the end and back. You race the clock 6 weeks in a row, individual event. He coached me through, helped me through all the mental aspects. There's a lot of mental aspects, in fact. Wind in your ears, how you position your body, what you're thinking about when other people are passing you. It was really cool. And it was like my team was there. All of my lunch ride friends came along with. We all participated in this race. And I got faster and faster each week. It was really awesome. And then I did the same thing as Walt. I started inviting other people, taking them under my wing, teaching them the ropes. Mentorship's a pretty awesome thing. Thank you, Toastmasters.